Welcome back. Previously, we created a user manager, so this custom user manager class, and we inherited it from the base user manager. So you can go to GitHub and check the code on that base user manager and the Django GitHub page. So what we essentially did was we created two new functions. So the first one is create user. It takes in the email, first name, last name, password, and it validates that they are not empty, normalizes the email, sets the password by hashing it, and returns a user. Next, we create a super user where we pretty much leverage this function, the create user function, and we then change some of the attributes. So attributes like is admin, is staff, is super user. We do that and return a user. So we're done. Remember that in the settings page, because we're using a custom user in Django, we had to come here and specify where the custom user model is. So it's under accounts and it's called custom user. That's what we did here. At this point, we can now run our first migration. So you want to run your migration after you've created your custom user, if you're going to create a custom user, because it becomes difficult when you you create a custom user after your first migration. That brings a lot of problems. Without talking too much, we're going to go here. I'll show you how to make a migration. So I'm going to do Python manage.py. Of course, it's using this manage.py function. We'll say make migrations followed by the name of the account. So accounts. Let's see. Yeah, so you see that it says create model custom user. Looks good. Let's go ahead and migrate. So we'll do the same Python manage.py migrate. So this is the first migration, and it's going to make migrations for other models that are already in there. Just take your time, we'll see it. Expand this. You can see it created, this is what we know that we created, right? So we created something in accounts, right? A model in accounts. All these other models are things that come by default in Django, right? They are apps that also require a database table in Django. So once you've run your first migration, it runs a migration for all of them. A migration, why are migrations important? You see, in this case, we created a model for the user. If in the future we decide that, oh, okay, we want to get their age, and already this is a live model, right? What we can do is we'll come here and make changes. You know, any change you make to any database in Django, you need to run a migration. So what the migration does is it applies the change in code to the database. So we've done our first migration and it worked fine, no issue. What that means is now we can create a super user. So let's do that. So to create a super user, you'll come here and say Python manage.py create super user. What is your email address, right? So of course this verbose name that we specified here, it's asking us. So let me call this the full stack ninja at gmail.com. You can call it whatever you want. Your first name is Olabode. Password, I'm not going to tell you my password. And the super user has been created successfully. Now that we've created a super user, we're going to visit the admin page for the first time. But before we do that, let's register this mode. You know what? Let's just do that first, then I'll show you what it is. So Python manage.py run server. So let's visit this page. And this is it. So this just shows that the installation of Django worked fine, and we've been able to, start the server for the first time. And this is cool. So here it has links to Django documentation. It has a link to a basic tutorial, and of course Django community, stuff like that, which is fine. And this just shows, so this I didn't create it, it comes out of the box with Django. I think it's pretty cool. At this point, I'm going to take you to the admin page. So admin, what is your email address? Password. Now that is really long, but I'm not going to change it. So let me supply my email address. Of course, if you use a different email, then you want to supply here, and I'll supply my password here. Okay. And I'm in the site administration. All of this comes out of the box in Django. Really awesome stuff. You can see we don't have access to any other thing apart from groups, right? So I want to show you how you can add models to this page. Let's go back. So this admin.py under each app, what it does is it allows you to register. It does a bunch of things, right? But at the most basic level, it asks you, okay, what models from this little app in this Django project do you want to be able to access in the admin page? So we want to be able to access the user models in the admin page. So we'll say from accounts.models import custom user. And all you do is you come here, admin.site.register custom user, and that's it. You can save, you update that. Let's go back here. If you refresh, now you can see under the accounts app, you have custom users. One thing Django does in this admin page is it puts an S behind your table. So if you want to go through the pain of configuring that, there's a way, but I'm not going to focus on it. Let's see. You can see the fullstackninja@gmail.com. So we have this application has just one user, right? If we click on it, you can see the password. This is definitely not what I typed for the password, but this is what is saved in the database. You see it's a hashed, it's a password hash, which makes sense. So this was the last login. So when I logged in last, from groups, permissions, first name, last name, I'm active, this, that, this. Okay, we're not making any changes. I just wanted to show you. So remember, the reason why we are in this admin page is because we are super users. The regular users to your site would not have this access. Okay. Yeah. Let's go back to the code. And I think this is a good point to stop. We've run our first migration, which is great. No errors. We also registered the user model on the admin page. Good news. Okay, let's go ahead and stop this, and I'll see you in the next video.